Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday evening, time for Crypto Talk, and we've not been here last week, and sorry for that, but welcome back. Tonight we're gonna have a special one. Hello, Stephen. I see you say hello in the chat box. Tonight we're gonna have a special one. Thank you, Jason, for allowing the people in. Tonight we're gonna have a special session, compact, short, but we're gonna look at the market today, and we have our subject matter expert at the crypto school in the room, and we're going to look at the market. But Jason is going to do it a bit different tonight, in that he's going to give us a view into what he expects for the next 6 months. So tonight will be a good one for you to come sit with pen and paper and to just make notes and to see what Jason expects in the next 6 months. And I cannot wait to see that. And so without further ado, let's go to the subject matter expert on crypto trading at the crypto school, none other than our own Jason Ashington. Jason, buddy, thank you for making time. Thank you for doing the preparation. And thank you for being on the call and come and share your knowledge and the research that you do. And we really appreciate that. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Daniel. Good evening, everybody. Yes, Daniel, I want to share with the community what I see in the market really for the next sort of 6 or 7 months. I'm not going to be talking about the chop that's happening now, that's been happening in the last 2 months, where Bitcoin is all over the place, because it's very difficult to be trying to trade in this type of environment where we are all over the place. But 2 weeks ago, I expressed to the community on the Zoom call that I was very excited about the Dixie. Can you remember, Daniel?
Yes.
And I spoke around the Dixie, saying that it looks like that we got a bearish divergence on the daily, and there's a possibility that we could have a retrace in the Dixie, the dollar. And that was, I think, on the 9th of May. That was around about here at 103. And you can see that we did go up a bit till the 13th of May, but now the Dixie is retracing. But the question is, why was I excited about a retrace in the Dixie? If we go back in history and just have a look at some different cases around where we've seen a drop in the Dixie, and we can go back. Everybody can remember the 2017 crypto bull run. And at that stage, the Dixie, the beginning of 2017, was at 103, and it dropped all the way back down to below 90 in the space of 12 months. And another case was in 2020, where it did a similar thing. It dropped off from around about 100 all the way down to, what is that, below 90 again. And we want to see the similar thing happen to the Dixie. Now, if we go into the monthly figure and we just have a look back into history, we can see this 104 is a very tough resistance. It has been a very good support also previously. If we go back a couple of years, or not a couple, a hell of a long time ago, we can see it's been very strong resistance. And that resistance seems to be acting out right now. 2 weeks ago, as I say, on the daily, we had a bearish divergence, and that bearish divergence is now acted out, and we are starting to trend down. On smaller time frames, though, we are acting in a channel, a descending channel, and with the descending channel, there's a 68% chance of a break to the upside. We don't go down in a straight line. We do go down, and we go back up again to retest levels that we've broken. So I think we are going to come up again, retest this level of maybe 103, and then hopefully retrace further down. Now, that is one aspect that is really telling me this is pro-crypto bullish markets. What is the right word? It's bullish for the markets, not just crypto, also for stocks, with a dollar that is starting to drop. Now, the second aspect was really around the US midterm elections in November. And obviously the Democrats want to retain what they have. And how are they going to do it? One of the aspects is, well, two of the aspects is they can create a a market that goes up, a stock market that goes up. And the second way is they can boost the economy. And the third thing is they can start bringing down inflation by bringing down the oil price, for example. Now, what I foresee is going to be taking place is that, sorry, I've just deleted the S&P. Let me just bring it back up here. What I think is take place is that we're going to have a situation where the stock market's going to turn going into July. It's going to give them 5 or 6 months to actually turn the economy back up again, and so they can have a stock market that's increasing going into November, and they can start bragging that they've sorted things out. So, and that obviously they want to get the votes for that. And let me just see if I can get that S&P back again. I think I've deleted by mistake. Gee, forget the ticker. Johnny, you can add anything that you think is applicable there. Yeah. I don't know if it was this one, but we can just have a look at this S&P. That's not the right ticker. I'm going to have to go find that ticker. But anyway, what I want to show you here, and we're just going to go, we can actually just draw it out quickly, is that if we go back into history, we have a channel that is, price has been acting in a channel quite a while now. And we actually broke to the upside out of this channel. So we've been in this channel since 2015. Yeah, was a corona drop where we had a drop below that. The Fed started obviously increasing with the money printing and propping up the stock market. That pushed this S&P right out of the channel to the upside. And we can see that from the end of December, they have stopped, well, they've actually cut the printing, and they want to bring this chart back down to lower levels. And I would say the medium would be inside this channel again. So once we get inside this channel again, that's obviously going to bring down the inflation, and then they can start with the printing again and get the stock market to start moving back up again. So I think we're almost there. I think we've still got a couple of weeks to go until we can get back into this channel. That is one aspect. If we have a look at the oil is obviously the biggest commodity out there. And we can see, so oil has broken out here at the end of December. It went up to, started rising up into March, and then the Ukraine-Russian war was announced, and that really pushed the oil price up to 135. It hit resistance there. Oil came all the way back down, retested $100, and has been going sideways ever since. And we are in this sort of pennant formation. And I was just watching Alessio's video last week where he said that the oil price will possibly go up now in the next couple of weeks again and create a bearish. I don't think it'll go right up to 135. Maybe to the first resistance level at 125, hit resistance here, create a bearish divergence, and then start moving down again. And what we want to see is the oil price come down to retest this breakout of this blue line here down at $75, $80 level. Now, bringing the oil price down there, that is obviously create de-inflation, which will be economy positive. So that's, I think, will be taking place now later on in this year. So the Fed obviously can start bragging that they've managed to control the price, etc., etc., etc. So that is one aspect. Another aspect that I think that is going to be very positive for stock market and crypto market for the last sort of 6 months. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk about was the chart. And I watched last week a video done by a well-known crypto trader. His name is Picasso. I would rate him as being one of the best Bitcoin chartists. And what he has said is that if we go back and look at the last bull run in 2017, and we go onto the daily chart here, Where are we now? 2021. Sorry, I just want to get it here. So this was the last blow off top euphoria on a high scale for Bitcoin and for the other coins at that stage. So we went right up to 19,000. We came down to 11,000 and we moved back up to 17,000 over a space of sort of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And we didn't reach that back up to that 19,000. We only got up to 17,000 and then we dropped off and we went into a bear market in 2018. Now, if we look at this sort of structure and compare it to what I'm going to show you now, so right now, can you see this Wall Street cheat sheet? You muted there. So if you look at what I've just showed you in Bitcoin, we went right up to euphoria at 19,000. We came down to 11,000. We went back up again to 17,000, and then we went into 2018. So this is a proper end of a bull market, and it happens in other markets too, where you have this euphoria emotions and that where you got all the retail jumpy on, you got the taxi drivers talking about Bitcoin, and that sends the Bitcoin right up and into a blow off top. Now, if we have a look at our current market and we go on to the weekly. So this was April 2021. We went right up to 64,000, price came down to 30, and in November went up to 68. So this 68 in November was a higher price than it was in April 2021. And we've come down and we have not had that complacency move back up again, and we just carried on dropping from there, down again. So what Picasso says, this is not a euphoria into a market. And he goes further by saying that if we have a look at prior to 2017 to, I think it was 2013, where we had a similar blow off top, and we have a look at how the Bitcoin structure looked at that stage, it just seems to repeat itself over and over again. But the time periods for these cycles are actually getting longer. But if we have a look at the current cycle that we find ourselves in, and we start applying Elliott wave, and I'm no expert in Elliott wave at all, but I just want to show you what he showed us. If you take the bottom of the cycle in December 2018, Bitcoin went right down to $3,200. And the Corona drop, it actually went down to 3,883. So Corona drop was actually higher than December 2018. So if you apply the 5-way Elliott wave to this, we had the first wave that went up to July 2019. The second wave went down to March 2020. Now, I'm just going to draw this quickly. Now, if we take the third wave, takes us up to November last year. And we are in the fourth wave coming down. Okay. And then the fifth wave that is going to give the euphoria blow off top is at a higher level. Okay, so this is his analysis. But what he's saying is that we are right now at a critical level, because when we go up from the previous cycle and we apply the fib levels from the high of the previous cycle to the low in December 18, and we do the extension up, when you go into the new cycle, you do not drop below the 1.618 on a weekly basis. So when I say drop, you don't open a candle below this level and close a candle below this level. Okay, so right now we have dropped below that level, but we haven't opened a candle below here and closed a candle below here. So we are really at a critical area right now in the Bitcoin price. I'm just going to delete this. And you can see, like last night, for example, was the end of the weekly candle, and it actually went right up Let me just go into the weekly chart here. You can see that we closed above that level, just on that line there last night. It's amazing how this works. So we want to see in the next couple of weeks a move. We'll possibly have another drop in the next 3 weeks ago. We got it in the next 3 weeks because we've got that FOMC meeting in the middle of June again. And they're talking about another increase in interest rates. So there's a possibility of fear again that we could possibly drop again. So if we just go back and have a look at the Wall Street cheat sheet, just to have a look at where we currently find ourselves. So we've come down, I would say we pretty much in this area here, around about angle or so. And we could see another drop that goes down here before going into the depression and then hopefully up to the disbelief. If we go back now and just have a look at another thing where we could actually go drop to, if we have a look at the 200 moving average on the weekly, and we go back in history, you can see the 200 moving average has always been on it. Unfortunately, this is Coinbase, it doesn't go further than this. But you can see that the weekly candle always seems to go back above the 200 weekly. So this is another price point that we need to make sure that we do not drop below here. But if we've got a weekly candle dropping below here, that is dangerous. We're going to drop much further than that too. So this 22,100.
Jason, that 22,100 is scary far from where we're at the moment already.
We've seen what happened to Luna with the fear, and we saw a massive drop in Luna and some of its coins that are part of the Luna. I just wanted to show you Anchor Protocol, what happened today. So 2 weeks ago, everybody was trying to get out of Luna and out of the Luna ecosystem, and one of those coins is Anchor. And look what's happened to Anchor. This is now on the 1 hour chart. And if we take from 5 o'clock last night to the high just now, we've gone up 400% in Anchor. And yet 2 weeks ago, everybody was trying to jump out of Anchor and Luna. And now everybody's trying to jump back in. Yeah, that's what drives the market. As I say, we are at a critical area, but I think that we are going to hopefully see a bounce here and start moving up here in the last sort of 6 months of the year. That could potentially start in July already, and then we can have that fifth leg up. Now, the question is that we need to make sure that we obviously have got a plan in place that if the market starts moving up and we start having weekly candles that are opening and closing above the 30,000 level, and we start heading up, what coins are you going to get into? And we've seen that over the last 6 to 12 months, a lot of these altcoins have lost a lot of value. And so one has to now start preparing themselves, for if this market starts turning, what are you going to get into? You can't just take a shotgun approach and try to get into every coin out there. You need to start focusing on coins that we've seen that have previously, that have come back down over the last 5 months, that have lost 80% value, that could potentially move back up again. Donnie, I don't know if you want to add anything around that.
No, I just 100% in agreement. And the key is to make sure that you have a targeted handful of coins that you actively can manage. Yeah.
So I've gone into CoinGecko here, and unfortunately, it only gives us a 2-month time frame, and we can see that some of the losers over the last 2 months. We know about Terra, Waves 80% down. Waves has been a good coin in the past. Gala, a gaming coin, 65% that has gone down in the last 2 months. Avalanche, AVAX, 63%. Phantom, 62%. Rune, 61. Axie, 60. These are all very good coins. Theta has been in a downtrend for the last 12 months, 58% down. 12 months ago, Theta was at $16. It's now at $1.35. There's no reason why we can't see some of these coins go back to these levels that they were before this drop now, before the November drop. So one has to go through these coins, go to your charts, have a look at these coins at what price level they were, 6 to 12 months ago, and then decide what are you going to get into. And as I say, you can't get into every single coin. My suggestion is 5 to 8 coins maximum. You want to be able to manage the amount of coins you're going to be getting into, and then decide what you're going to do from there. Another area to look at is to go onto Binance, for example, click on markets, go to all cryptos, and then you can go down here and look at the different areas what these coins are. Layer 1, layer 2s are very good coins to get into. And we can see here, for example, what coin has gone up in the most in the last 24 hours. We see Phantom at 17%, Near of all coins 14%, KSM 11, etc., etc. And you can even rank them by market cap, from the biggest to the smallest. And you can see how some of these coins have actually come down. Cardano, for example, in September, October last year was at $3. It's now at 54 cents. Solana was at over $200. It's now at $52. DOT was at $60. There's no reason why these coins, for example, can't go. If we go and have a look at Metaverse, you can remember Metaverse in October last year was the hot coins at that stage. And as I said, Gala has gone down a hell of a lot. Let me just see if I can find Gala here. Axie Infinity has gone down a hell of a lot. Mana, so Gala is now trading at 8.6 cents. And you can see in November it was at 83 cents. So if you get into it now and it goes back to the all-time high, for example, could potentially do a 10x. And the same applies to, some of these coins like Mana has also dropped a hell of a lot. $5.88, and we currently trading at just over $1.10 at the moment. So there's opportunity once we start seeing a drop to the lower levels on that Wall Street cheat sheet down to the depression stage, start moving up, start having weekly closes above the 30,000. That is going to be the sign that we hopefully starting to move up again. The actual Dixie is starting to drop more, and then hopefully commodity prices starting to ease off too. And that is going to be positive for the economy and positive for stock markets.
Oh, I'm happy with what you on there about. Thank you, buddy.
Okay. If we have a look at the current market, the fear and greed index currently is sitting at 10. Extreme fear. The retail is definitely not part of this party right now. They won't be joining this party until this dial moves up into neutral, going into green. And you can see we've been down in this area now for, I'm just going to click on the month. A month ago, we were around between sort of 20 and 30, and we dropped off here at the beginning of May. And we've been hovering around this 10 level. Retail definitely a departure. The institutions and the whales are going to have to try and push up the Bitcoin price in the next couple of weeks.
Jason, I have a few friends that made entries around about July, August last year. They got good entries to where the market was at that stage before, because it was before that big pump in November. And they got good entries. But those good entries were destroyed from October, July, August last year, were destroyed in some of the coins to where they currently are. If you go look at ADA and Terra Luna, let's not talk about that one, but if you go look at those entries, they were destroyed from where they were. But the key is what I start receiving messages last week, 1 or 2, and this today 2, and just now 1 while you were busy talking, someone saying, but I've added more money, I've added more rands, more fiat. I need to get into the market. Can we have a meeting? Can we just discuss where the market is at? And some of them will go watch this recording tomorrow, and because they cannot be on it now, but some of them are on it. And I would like to say hello to Barry Tainsma. Ed told me that's your first time. Derek and Anita, I see that you're here. Yamkela, Vava, I don't know if I've said your name correctly. It seems like the first time that I see your name here. So welcome to those people that are joining us, Crypto Talk right now. And for those that's been here for some time, we know that in long-term hold portfolios, in long-term positions, at the moment, it's a long-term position you have to hold. The market will come and find you again. The price will come back to you. But for those that are entering now, there is an opportunity. But remember, we never enter with the money once off. We enter, we ladder in, we enter in different buys. Don't chase the price. I realized in this last full now retracement, let me call it a retracement, Jason, I've learned one thing again. And that is sometimes I'm so fearful of not participating in the growth, of not participating in the growth in the coins in the market, that I stay in the market when I should get out of the market. And my fear for not earning the upside is bigger than my fear of losing capital. And now I have a strategy to turn that around. And from now on, my fear will be, sorry, Yamkela, I see that you're here since last year. Allow me to say hello to you then. But the key is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a strategy now, or pursue a strategy better than in the past, to not be fearful of missing out on coins going up, gaining value. But I'm going to make sure that I'm missing out on the retracements. And I'm going to have fear for retracements and not fear for the market going up. And I'm going to be out when I should be out. And I'm going to really manage that better. And not just with stop losses, but yes, stop losses as well. But with moving stop losses, with taking my stop losses up with me, because I haven't done it on some coins. And I could have done a lot better. I could have been in a better place at the moment. Have I not had a fear for losing out on growth instead of a fear for losing capital? And so thank you, Jason.
Yeah, Donnie, the hard part, and I'm not an Elliott Wave expert, but those people that work with Elliott Wave, they say the wave fall down is very difficult to find a bottom on that. And you can see we're right now at the lowest level that one can go to in the wave 4. And unfortunately, if we knew that we were going to drop this low, we would have already sold you in November, but we didn't know that at that stage. At that stage, Plan B was the person that seemed to be the most corrected, and he was talking about Bitcoin going to 130,000 in December, and the sentiment was very bullish at that time. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, and we have dropped all the way from 68,000 down to 30,000 in the space of 6 months. And this is where we find ourselves. But I've given you 3 things now that are telling us that we can be going up in the last sort of 6 months of the year. But just remember that with the stock markets and the Fed printing all the money, at some stage, I don't think it'll be soon, but at some stage, the debt market is going to implode and it's going to bring down the stock market. And that would be classified as a black swan event. And it's going to bring down every other market too. I don't think it'll happen this year. I don't think the Democrats will bring down the stock market to much lower levels like that they're talking about when the debt market. I think that they're going to push this market up in the last 6 months, including the crypto market. That would give us this final wave up. And we're going to see all the news come out again about how good crypto is, like we heard in 2017. And another aspect, Daniel, is that MicroStrategy, for example, they've been buying Bitcoin. They actually took a loan and bought Bitcoin, I think it was at $44,000.
Yeah.
So they're under the water with that loan at the moment. But why would the institutions be buying Bitcoin? Why would the whales be taking Bitcoin off the exchanges and putting it into cold wallets already when the price was over 40,000? So something's telling me that they know they expect another wave up there. So my encouragement for everybody is to start putting your plan in now and have a look at the different coins that moved up quite a bit here between sort of July last year going into November. We had a tremendous run here from 30,000 up to 68,000 in the space of 5 months. And we saw some massive moves here in some of these coins. I can remember, for example, at that stage, Solana. If we listen to Bant in July, I was telling everybody to get into Solana at that stage. And Solana was at $20, I think, in July. Yeah, $22 in July. And in the end of November, it went right up to $260. What's that? 13x in the space of 5 months. Imagine that. So Stephen's asking a weekly close below the. So Stephen, it's an open and close below here. So on the weekly, it's a candle that opens. Okay. It's not a candle that opens and closes, opens above and closes below. It has to open and that's a weekly candle here. And I would also say that that 200 moving average that we haven't dropped below on a weekly basis too. That's also an important level, because if we close below 22, that is going to mean that we're going to drop right down. But guys, if we have a look here, and I'm looking at when we moved up here at the end of 2020, and there are certain levels here that weren't tested on the way up. And one of those levels was at 24,000. So if we look here, 24,000 was resistance in December 2020. And you can see how we moved up from 24 right up above 30,000 in the space of, what is that? A week and a half. And we didn't come down, retest here before moving up again. So these levels haven't been tested. And one could also say this level here, 19,000 hasn't been tested either. But I'm not saying that we will come down to these levels to come and test right now. But I think there's a possibility that we do come down and test this level here around about 24,000. So on the Wall Street cheat sheet, that is the bottom of the depression stage. Is there any other questions from anybody?
I don't see any other questions in the chat box. Thanks, Jason.
For those people that want to know what's going to happen now in the next week or two, it is going to be chop, as I say. We are following the S&P and the other stock markets very closely. I've deleted this S&P, unfortunately. I must go find the ticker again. But we can see that we've been in this channel that's been coming down. I need to actually go into the. So we've been in this channel now from the 29th of March. And you can see it's been pushing up, coming down, pushing up, coming down. And the same with Bitcoin has also been in this descending channel over the same sort of period. And we have gone into this pennant formation that actually broke out here early this morning. And we have come down now to retest it. So S&P has started moving up. On Friday, the Fed started pushing the S&P up. You can see it in the late session, pushing it up. And we have started moving up today again. And the expectation is that we're going to carry on moving up towards the end of the week, possibly get rejected at these levels here, up here. And the same will apply to Bitcoin. where we will see a move back up here to possibly this level at 34,800. But why 34,800? You can see 34,800 has been previous support. Let me just 34,800 has been support previously. If we go on to the weekly, we can see that this white channel that's been in place since April last year, we broke through this white channel on the 2nd of May, but we haven't gone up to test it. And there's a possibility that we come up here. This white channel is in the same area as 34,800. The other point is that we've got these orange lines that are coming down, and we have a look here. Is the orange line that comes down from the 5th of April, touched again on the 4th of May over here, and that orange line also crosses in the same area. And then the fourth aspect is that we have a look at CME futures. There is a gap that has to be closed between 34,465 and 36, and this comes back from last week. So that's a fourth area of confluence that tells us that we could possibly come up to this level here of 34 this week, going into next week. But as I say, there's still a lot of negativity around with the FOMC meeting in the middle of June, speaking about another 0.5% increase in the interest rate. And that is going to create a possible another drop in Bitcoin, unfortunately, as I say, down to lower levels. Okay. And as I say, we broke out of here early this morning, and we've come down now to retest the breakout of this orange line that has been in place here since 11th. Is there any questions there?
Oh, yes, thank you, Jason. Yankela say, what happened to some of the major alts like Link, Bitcoin Cash, BSV, New, Litecoin? They haven't been moving since February last year.
Yeah, there's been a lot of coins that even sites coming down for the last 12 months. A coin that you hold, Donnie, like Uni, same thing. And so the question is, will they go up again? Absolutely. But one has to do a bit of technical analysis, where, for example, if we look at Uni here, as I say, it's been coming down since the 3rd of May last year. And one would need to draw in these lines here that were acting as resistance, like this orange line. And if we do break this orange line, you want to see a proper break out of here, come down for a retest, and then for start moving up. And then one would enter. You don't want to enter, and this coin, all it does is just goes back up to this orange line, gets rejected, and starts coming back down again. So to answer your question, you would have to draw this trend line in. If we see a break of the trend line, then you'll get into a coin like, for example, Uni. I think the same applies to Link. Link has been coming down since that's November. Even before that, that was May. We saw Link at 52 and it's been dropping ever since, down to $7. So same thing. But one has to monitor, you know, if you get into these coins, if it breaks this orange resistance line and you get into the coin, but you get the coin is not moving up, you might want to make a decision there. Get out of this coin and get into some other coin that is moving. It doesn't help to stay in a coin that is not moving. You need to get into those coins that are the hot coins at that time.
Jason, if you do that, it's important to take profit off the table in the coin that you move into. To make sure that you continually take profit off the table so that you don't sit with that coin. Eventually, that's now your next coin that you go into, and that coin start not performing, and now that's the coin that you ride. And the key is for us to make sure that we forego on our fear for losing out on the upside, but make sure we're not losing capital on the downside.
Yeah. Sorry about the messy chart, but this is Theta. And Theta, April last year hit a high, as I said, was $16. and we now found ourselves at $1, right down the bottom here. Will it recover? I'm not sure. One would have to see once we get up to higher levels, yeah, if the coin starts moving.
Jason, we have another comment there from Ed in the chat box. Ed saying, thanks, Jason. I think the market dip as it is now is reason to be bullish. Great time to prepare for the next upside. The Grayscale EFT decision in July could be the Kickstarter if approved. Overall, it's not doom and gloom. One can buy the top layer coins at highly reduced prices and get ready for the upside.
Absolutely. Just go to those layer ones again that we spoke about. This is on Binance. Just click on markets, click on all cryptos, click on layer ones, and we can see them here. Phantom, very good coin. The reason for Phantom, besides the market dropping, there was talk of the developer Andre Cronje leaving the project, and that caused the coin to drop considerably. There is news that he could be possibly coming back again. We're not too sure, but that has caused this Phantom to move in the last 3 days from 33 cents right up to 52 cents today in the space of 3 days. But if we go down here, I mentioned Solana is a very good coin. We saw how Waves has dropped over the last 2 months. BNB is a very good coin. Down at 333. Dot in November, I think, was around about $60 or $55, now $10. Matic was right up at over $2, now at 68 cents, for example. Another brilliant coin at $2. Cardano, as I say, in September, October last year was at $3, now at 54 cents. We saw Solana, what happened to Solana from July last year right up to November, went from $20 right up to $250. Avalanche also in the last 2 months had a big drop. I forget what Avalanche price was in. So we look at AVAX here in November. There we go.
Oh, that's it.
$150. And you can see we now 30. So it's good opportunity, as Ed says. These layer ones really are safe coins, or most of them are safe to get into. And we should see if the market starts moving up, which we hope will happen. We see some good gains here in the next 6 months in some of these coins.
Evening, and for what you've showed us, you always make it look easy. You always make the charts look pretty. And we really appreciate it. And it's such a privilege having you on our calls. And I would like to just quickly alert people again to our website. Remember, go subscribe to receive the access to the free stuff. The moment that you subscribe on this page on top, the free stuff will open for you and you will be able to go to the free stuff. Now, our crypto talk, we publish on 2 places. We publish it here on the free stuff, but we also publish it on our YouTube channel. And please go join our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell so that you get notifications when something goes up. And tonight, the crypto talk will be on there by lunch tomorrow. It will be on our YouTube channel. And please go point people to that and help and assist them to not miss out on this talk tonight. As Jason has showed us where we're at with a view for the next 6 months. And thank you, Jason, for a job done. We really appreciate that. And last comment from you before we say goodbye tonight, Jason.
Yeah, Donnie, I just want to say that what I spoke about tonight, I've already got my plan in place. I've actually got a whiteboard in front of me here. I've made a list of 5 coins at the moment, what I'm looking at buying. If we start seeing a bullish movement in Bitcoin above that $30,000 level, I will definitely be buying those sort of coins up. I've already got the quantity of those coins that I'll be looking at, and hopefully price targets based on what we saw in November. And yeah, that is my plan that I've already got written out on my whiteboard. So I encourage everybody to do the same. And crypto is not dead, guys. Crypto is alive and well. And Bitcoin, I'm telling you, is going to surprise us in the next 6 months.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. We really appreciate that. Now, see Yameka saying in the, Yamkela saying in the chat box, Dani, that should be me. Yamkela, why did you now ruin that with the But I'm just joking. Dani, thank you for good lesson on budgeting. And that lesson is going to disappear this week. So if you haven't done it yet, you have to go do it. There on the free page stuff. It's a workshop that you pay $200 for, that we've given you for free for some time. And if you haven't done it yet, go look at the free, so register, go look at the free stuff, learn to budget to financial freedom. There is a 2-hour workshop on how to budget, and it actually includes your spouse or partner, or should you have one of those. And it's really my whole life's work is in that budget meeting, in what I've done in my previous life, and pull it into where I'm at the moment. So I will point you to that, but remember that was only for a limited time, and that limited time is running out this week. So if you want to go do that budget thing, it's a good time to go do it sooner than later. Jason, thank you very much for a good evening. Thank you for the people participating in the chat box. And for those that's been on here for the first time, welcome. We look forward to seeing you next time. Please, guys, girls, remember to invite friends. Go invite them to go and help, go find our YouTube channel, to be able to go and just listen, and go listen again to what Jason said. Tonight we didn't have the young gun Andre on because he's in load shedding with no signal, with no access to the internet where he is currently. So Andre, we missed you. And Marius is on a meeting in a meeting at school, at the school management school board. So thank you, Marius. We missed him tonight, but we had the subject matter expert at the crypto school on crypto trading. Thank you, Jason, for assisting us to get our act and our plans together for the next 6 months. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a privilege serving you from the crypto school. Have a good one. Bye-bye.